Can you expound a little bit on that, about this existential threat to Israel? I mean, this is Israel's fighting for its survival.
Precisely. But I think that what a lot of people don't understand is that it's not just Israel's fight. It's not just this fight across the ocean in the Middle East. It's a fight that is the West's fight. We already seeing what's happening in Europe. People that came under the disguise of refugees are right now taking over major cities in Europe with massive protests in support of Hamas. And we are now also seeing this in the United States of America. And I think that this should concern our American friends, because these people side with Hamas, a radical Islamist group that believes in political terrorism. They basically say, think like me or die. And so what Israel is doing right now, fighting Hamas, is doing a favor to the world by fighting this radical Islamist group. It's a war between good and evil. We're about to celebrate Hanukkah in Israel, the holiday of lights, and it's a war between light and darkness. So I would challenge our friends and say, which side are you on? The side of light or the side of darkness?
You were like there in Gaza, many on the front lines in the military battle, but there's also an information battle. For example, some people have dismissed what happened on October 7th, minimized it, on social media. Talk about the information war that you're part of and that Israel is engaged in right now.
It's really heartbreaking, because as an Israeli, I was born and raised here. I was never taught or raised to hate my neighbors. I was raised by this Bible verse, love thy neighbor. I was never taught to fight my neighbors. Even when I joined the Israel Defense Forces, to the Armored Corps, and later became a combat medic, it feels like the mainstream media portrays us, the reserve duty soldiers and on-duty soldiers, that we enjoy being there on the front line, that we enjoy waging war. We would much rather be with our families, stay at home, work. But this is the reality right now in Israel, and there is a war on information. Unfortunately, social media is a center for a lot of fake news and disinformation. But that's in the good case scenario. The worst case scenario is that people straight up support Hamas. After everything that we have seen, the burnt corpses. I don't know if people know this, but in Israel, there are going to be funerals where bodies are going to be buried together with cars because they weren't able to separate the bodies from the car. I visited Kibbutz Be'eri in southern Israel, one of the kibbutzes that was badly hit by this Hamas invasion. I entered the house of Vivian Silver. They found her, they identified her by the ashes of her body. And she was a big peace activist for coexistence between Israelis and Palestinians. But I have to say, we Israelis, we believe in peace. We never want war. We want peace. But you can't make peace with people that chant death to Israel.
Last question, Hananya. We were yesterday at the Knesset. There was a prayer meeting. Jews and Christians gathered together to pray. In this battle of information and the military battle, how important is prayer?
So important. It was a very symbolic moment that in the Knesset, in Jerusalem, the Parliament of Israel, the capital of Israel, there were people gathered to pray for the peace of Jerusalem and for the victory of Israel. Because the victory of Israel is the victory of our friends as well, and the victory of God, because God stands with Israel and He does not neglect and forget His people. So I think that it was so symbolic, and I would encourage people to keep praying for Israel. Because when I was inside the Gaza Strip, now, but also in 2014, during the Protective Edge operation, I felt those prayers. I believe that those prayers are saving soldiers in real time. So please don't forget to pray.
Hananya Naftali, great to be with you. And we'll be praying for the peace of Jerusalem.
Thank you.